Hi, we are the PixelPals team and we would like to welcome you to our presentation. PixelPals is made up of 5 unique members, who I will now introduce. As our designer, we have Sue. Sue has worked as a graphic designer for 5 years and has been working on the design and research components of this project. She will soon be moving on to creating the wireframes and designing a high-fidelity mock-up. I, Karina, am the coder. I have worked as a digital producer for 4 years. I have been working on the system's overview and functionality. I will be responsible for building the front end in this project. We have 3 project managers who will be taking it in turns to manage this IP project, alternating every 2 weeks. Our first project manager is Alison, who has worked in commercial product development and design for over 20 years. Alison will introduce us to the industry partner and the project scope. Lungi is also one of our project managers, who currently works as a channel manager for one of the fastest growing fibre-to-the-home telcos in South Africa. Lungi is organising our project specifications and communications in this presentation. Pietro is another of our project managers. He works in the marketing team of King Abdullah University of Science and Technology and enjoys an academic environment. Pietro has done a lot of research into the target market for this project.
Let me introduce you to our industry partner, the City of Glasgow College Students Association. The City of Glasgow College is a further education college based in Glasgow. This college offers vocational certificates and diplomas and a few degree courses. They have some 27,000 full and part-time students. This project falls under the remit of their international project owner, Kevin Ward. He's the Students' Association Liaison Officer, and his ambition is to create greater use of the association website. This scope document frames the required project deliverables in our team's project plan. The goals of our client are 1. To create better student engagement through the IP Students Association website. 2. Their users and user experience is the main focus. 3. User feedback throughout the project is essential. And 4. We are building mobile responsive high fidelity bootstrap framework website prototypes for the following 3 pages. Students Association website homepage, the Clubs and Societies page, and the President's page, relating all 3 to the IP business and legal objectives. The team research on our target market identified our specific user groups and their high priority needs, which enabled us to hone in on our minimal viable product. Then, using identified critical success factors, we reduced the list of user requirements into a specific list of key functional modules, which will then be used as key content on the site. In tandem, results from questionnaires designed to understand the user opinion of the old site are further reduced by card sorting and tree testing to determine what the user actually wants from their SA website, followed up by guerrilla testing, key search or user functions to ensure wireframes are designed with these users' requirements as priority.
Thanks a lot, Alison. Welcome, everyone. I will take you through the product specification and what informed our approach for the product spec. This product specification was mainly informed by our IP requirements and a lot of team research. We wanted to create universal access to the City of Glasgow College information for students on the move. To accommodate this need, we had to keep mobility in mind. So mobility is at the heart of this product specification. This is because the majority of media consumption is actually screen-based. 80% of internet users are mobile. The team will therefore create a bootstrap mobile responsive website that will work on different browsers and operating systems. This approach aligns to the fact that 40% of media consumption is on mobile phones and 80% of internet users are mobile. A responsive website will ensure a mass reach to a lot of audience and will not be limited to operating system. This will be a higher fidelity prototype showcasing the homepage, the presidential team, clubs, and societies. The product specification will constantly answer the question, why? We believe that this product specification is a blueprint to the mantra, the students need a voice. And we are creating that voice. The team will deliver a multi-platform, bootstrap, responsive website, and the delivery mechanism will be a URL for the hosted website for review by our industry partner. Thank you.
Our market research started focusing on official data shared from the IP and the University UK institution who relays Pattern and Trend Seeing UK Education Report of 2015. The first point noted was how much education fees have risen in the last 10 years. We are talking about 200% from 2005 to 2015. It's quite clear that for feminine students at first, this shocking result must mean a conversion in the quality of services. These services include support from their Student Association and Education Act of '94 enforce this statement. Student unions are now officially considered a necessary part of the college life and the college environment. Knowing that we were safe about finding tons of qualitative digital resources here and there, we asked our IP to give us some demographic insight about the city of Glasgow College, and the first point that stands out is that we need to work locally because all of the students are Scottish, the 40% are from the city of Glasgow, and the 83% are under the 24 years of age. The net within students migration by the local authority in the Glasgow area is minus 0.01 of the population among 16 and 76 years old, and rarely in Scotland the percentage is higher than 0.05. This data comes from the Office of General Studies made by UK government, so the students in the further education don't move so often. We take for granted that every college of the Glasgow area would have huge digital prints in search engines, but surprisingly they have not. Very few associations show an active life on the web, into social, or even the main web page of the lending institution. Analyzing data from the competitors is the key element to build consistency about a new product. Then for us it was extremely challenging to find an answer to this problem we called the college dilemma. We moved to a different strategy. Instead of search for competitor, we try to understand what the users search when they consult our competitors. Then we work on the semantic content of the segmented query. Of course, there are different kinds of queries, but we focus on the informational ones and the commercial investigation queries. From both the research with SEO tools, we were able to get a satisfactory amount of patterns among the student needs, and we were able to build a visual map of the user journey to satisfy the answers. The final step was to find which institution covered the different routes better and what we can improve in our project to better reply to the questions the students have. Our report highlighted 3 factors. First, we can consider digital competitors the institution of the Glasgow area. Second, the students are looking for technical information. And third, the student association that better met the students' request is the one of the University of Dundee. From our data, the students get definitive answers with a simple information architecture with a smooth user experience. They avoid pages with an unclear call to action, and they search for these answers mainly through the mobile experience. They want to find quick solutions for hours, campus map, location, ticket box offices, and rules. Primarily, where is what and how to get it. Our market research tells us that the simplicity and findability will be the key factor for a great UX, and our interviews and interactive testing will confirm that. But with them, we want to cancel assumption to deliver a perfect product.
Thank you, Pietro. To figure out what the design goals are, we asked our IP who the main users were for their website. They stated that the website would be aimed at students and staff at the City of Glasgow College. We quickly established that the Students' Association already has an existing logo and brand, so it's important to keep consistency by using their logo and colour palette throughout. We wanted to focus on a mobile-first design approach as we found out that 93% of adults either own or use a mobile device in the UK. This statistic means that it is extremely important for us to design a website that is responsive on all devices. We analysed every page on the existing Students' Association website. This helped us to point out areas that didn't work, such as the homepage and the content. Looking closely at the website in this way meant we were able to make suggestions or come up with ideas for improvement. We also researched 7 other competitors in the UK. This was important for us to understand what kind of graphics and information other students' associations used. Plus, it also gave us ideas for extra functionality and content. Dundee University Students' Association website ticked all of the boxes for what we were looking for in a Students' Association website. From a combination of all of this research, the design goals we have in mind are to use strong brand colours sparingly, design for mobile device first, easy and logical navigation, choose a font that is accessible and works well across all devices, design using a grid layout, create eye-catching imagery with no stock images being used, and to create a style guide which includes UI patterns.
A communication plan was formulated such that we should never be out of sync within the team and with the expectations of our industry partner. In an effort to ensure this, we've structured our own internal communication as well as a communication plan with our industry partner. Internally, the team has 2-week sprints. In our 2-week sprints, we have 5 daily Slack stand-ups and 2 Google Hangout sessions a week. The team uses Google Hangouts for project meetings set up via Google Calendar with dates, agenda, and deadlines. All team communication and work is very collaborative, with the whole team having access to a shared Google Drive folder that has all project-related documents. These are meeting minutes, status reports, draft documents, etc. Trello, in conjunction with Slack, is used for project management. Slack alerts are sent to all group members for any task assignments, comments, or any progress that might be happening on Trello. In an event that we hit a deadlock, an idea will actually be re-evaluated and taken through a majority poll voting system. With regard to communication with our IP, we've categorized our communication plan into different categories. This includes project status, routine communication, risks, and issues. When it comes to the project status, a project status report will be sent to IP after every sprint. This will be sent via email and will contain progress and a workload roadmap. This will keep the IP abreast of all work that is being done and allow the team to manage the scope and any change requirements. With routine communication, IP may send an email to PixelPals highlighting important project information, and the team will take this into consideration and revert back to IP. As with any project, there may be risks and issues associated with it. Any risk and issue will be communicated to PixelPals as a matter of urgency via email, and a Google Hangout session might be scheduled for clarity on any of the issues and risks. Thank you.
For the PixelPals team, it is vital for us to make sure that our website carefully meets all the needs of our users. Therefore, we need to make sure it can carry out these core functions: registering online for an account, ability to create or join a club, viewing the latest newsletter, voting in student elections, submitting support and contact request forms, buying tickets to upcoming events, browsing live social media feeds such as Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and viewing a calendar of all upcoming events around campus. Also, not forgetting basic functionality such as logging in and out of accounts and editing profiles, for example changing profile pictures or adjusting notification settings.
The design outcomes for the project are to produce and explore 3 areas within the Students' Association website. We will be creating low fidelity wireframes for mobile and for desktop for all the following sections. The homepage. The main homepage of the Students' Association website needs to be easy to navigate. The user needs to be drawn to the content immediately. The design needs to be engaging and highlight key events and news that appeals to the user. It will also need to be written in the language of the audience. The Student Presidential Team. This page will contain information about the City of Glasgow College's current Student Presidential Team, with an introduction to each student representative. Other contents included on the page would be their manifestos and contact details. Clubs and societies. We propose a page where students can sign up to an existing club or society. The club or society will also have their own pages to promote that particular club. This will have information such as who the convener is, dates, locations, and times. The goal of this functionality is to make the sign-up process faster and easier for the student and the convener. To expand further on our wireframes, we will create a task flow for the clubs and societies using multiple low-fidelity wireframes targeted for mobiles. Once we have finalised our wireframes, we will carry out guerrilla testing using real students. This will provide us with some initial feedback on our design and layouts. This feedback is crucial in making sure that our user journey is successful. Carrying out guerrilla testing will help us make design iterations at an early stage to save time doing it further down the line and avoiding costly changes. Once we are happy with the wireframes and have updated them with results from the guerrilla testing, we will move on to creating high visual fidelity mockups. The final mockups can be imported into InVision to create a high visual fidelity prototype. The style guide and UI patterns will be developed also. Once the IP is happy with the design, the assets and the style guide can be passed on to the developer to begin the bootstrap build.
In the diagram, you can see that the journey starts with the user. They send a request via their browser, which gets securely sent to the web server. This then fetches the required files and makes any necessary connections, for example to the database, to collect any data needed for the session. All this information and the files collected then get sent back to the user's browser, where it will present them with a nice functional website. It is important to use HTTPS, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. This encrypts all communication through the website, which makes it very secure and displays the little padlock that you see on most secure websites today. So, there are two sides to the system, the front end and the back end. The front end is what the user can physically see, such as content, images, and colours, whereas the back end is more what happens behind the scenes, which the user is not even aware of, such as making a connection to the database to retrieve some data. For the front end, we suggest to use Magento. Magento is a widely used e-commerce content management system which is free for small businesses. One of its huge advantages is that it can be tweaked to suit our clients' needs, both on the front end and the back end. A technology stack is a collection of software components that are stacked on top of each other like layers, which allow you to build web and mobile applications. LAMP is one of the most commonly used technology stacks today that comprises of a Linux operating system, Apache web server, MySQL database, and PHP programming language. We would recommend using the LAMP technology stack because it has a great support network with regular updates and improvements, which therefore make it very secure. Another reason would be because it's hugely popular, it means it's easier to find developers to work on the project because they will be using technology that they are already familiar with. It is important to mention that for this project, we are only building the front end for 3 pages using the Bootstrap framework. This is because our client is outsourcing the development at a later stage. Thank you for listening to our presentation. We welcome any questions that you may have.